Hey there, gamers and comic book fans. It is the CGM Weekly Goods Back to School Edition. I am neither Rodney Dangerfield nor Robert Downey Jr., and if you're actually old enough to get that reference, you probably aren't in school anymore, just like me. So let's get right down to it. The first bit of news for you guys who have been paying attention to David Cage's upcoming game, Beyond Two Souls. On October 1st, we're actually looking at a demo, which is going to be releasing on the PlayStation 3. The game itself is actually going to release on October 11th. So, it's like for you guys that actually want to see what kind of, great QTE-laden drama, terrific fun we're going to be having. It's like, that's it. October 1st is your chance to finally get a taste of the game. In more Sony news, Sony has announced that the PS4 is going to be built with voice recognition. So we should not be jumping up and down and screaming, "Yay, we're going to be able to shout commands at our PS4 just yet," because they didn't actually say that it's going to take voice commands the way that the Xbox One is going to. They're simply saying that voice recognition is built in. So that can take a lot of different forms. You might actually see being able to issue orders to games, but not to the operating system itself. We'll just have to wait until Sony makes further announcements about the exact nature of how voice recognition is going to work on the console. In other Sony news, this one is a bit interesting. We've all been hearing a lot about Oculus Rift and how they're doing a virtual reality headset. Now it comes out from numerous rumor-laden sources within the industry that Sony itself has also been working on a VR headset. Right now it's in the prototype stage, and from the anonymous sources, they've described it as being a fairly awkward setup right now. It requires the PlayStation Eye camera to work, and right now in order for the PlayStation Eye camera to read your head movements, they've actually got ping pong balls on the current prototype headset, so that when you move, it picks up the light reflection of that. Obviously, that is not going to be the case with the final retail version, but since this is all rumor and Sony hasn't given any official release dates, they've got plenty of time to actually nail this down. Myself, I'm kind of interested in this because Oculus Rift, we know that it's got a lot of interesting technology behind it. It's got the mighty Carmack, it's working on it to reduce issues like latency, and hopefully also to get around the issue of what will people who wear glasses like me do when they put the headset on. So it looks like it's probably going to perform better on the technology side. On the other hand, you've got to consider that Sony's got a massive research and development design team, and they've been designing products for consumers to use for decades now. So I think that they might actually have the edge when it comes to the build quality of the actual unit. It's like how it feels, whether it's comfortable, whether it looks cool, all that sort of thing. Either way, I don't think it's going to be a bad thing to have more than one VR headset out on the market, because competition is always healthy. So it's like, good luck to Sony, good luck to Oculus Rift, may the best headset win. Let's switch tacks now and go over to Microsoft and the Xbox One. There's actually quite a bit of news going on over here. First and most important, we finally have a release date. Yay! So we knew the PS4 was going to be coming out on November 15th. Now it looks like the Xbox One is going to be coming out on November 22nd. In addition to this, there's some weird ancillary news, how they were talking about how external storage was going to be allowed with the Xbox One, and you'd be able to hook up a USB or external drive, or it's something to that effect to it. It looks like while they're still planning to do that, the external storage functionality is not going to be there at launch. So they're probably going to patch it in with a firmware upgrade at some point in the future, but they're not saying when. They're just saying it won't be there at launch, but it is coming. Other news is there's actually some good news for the guys in Europe, which kind of makes you wonder why it is that we in North America, i.e. Canada and the United States, aren't seeing this as well. Microsoft has announced that for people that have pre-ordered the Day 1 edition of the Xbox One in Europe, they've actually got some options as far as free games goes. If you're in the UK, you now have the option of receiving Forza 5 free along with your Xbox One Day 1 edition. For the rest of Europe, and also for the UK, they have the option of FIFA 14 launching with their particular Day 1 edition. So, it's like this strikes me as a bit weird that, it's like North America is the biggest market, and yet it's Europe that's getting all the love, but maybe Microsoft is just doing this because they know that North America is a safer bet as far as market share, and that Europe, they're going to have to fight a little harder. So that could be the reasoning behind that. In other news, let's move on over to Kickstarter because it's like everybody always wants to know what kind of new Kickstarter stuff is happening. Keiji Inafune, it's like the man responsible for Mega Man. He has a Kickstarter project. It's called The Mighty Nine, and this one actually hit its Kickstarter goal. So this means that at least for the PC, a Mega Man-esque game is going to be coming out, which involves a robotic character who is going to be fighting bosses, and when he defeats the bosses, he's going to be getting the powers of those bosses he just defeated. So it's like, oh no, I don't see any resemblance between that and Mega Man at all, do you? I guess not. Last but not least, this particular one is near and dear to my heart because it's like I've got a soft spot for Tim Schafer and Double Fine, and it turns out that since Tim Schafer was like one of the first big success stories with Kickstarter, he's got that adventure game coming out called Broken Age. They've just announced a few of the voice actors that are going to be doing some of the voice work for the game, and two big names are coming out. Amongst the gamers, you'll be happy to hear this. Jennifer Hale is going to be providing one of the voices. If you don't know who Jennifer Hale is, perhaps FemShep, aka Female Commander Shepard, that might ring a few bells. So Commander Shepard, the female version, is going to be in the game, and for everybody else that it's like likes their movies, Jack Black is going to be coming in and providing some of the voice work for that. So it's like Commander Shepard and Eddie Riggs, together for the first time in a Double Fine game. Now let's talk about the games that are going to be coming out next week. There's actually quite a few of them. The Vita, you guys, I know you're starving. It's like there aren't a lot of games that come out most of the time, but September 10th, you get Killzone Mercenary. I know everybody is hoping that this is going to be the end-all, be-all first-person shooter that finally justifies being able to play kick-ass FPS games on the Vita. I mean, it's like it hasn't happened yet. Resistance, okay, let's not even talk about that. I get a migraine just thinking about it. But okay, Killzone Mercenary, this could be good. I've played the preview myself. It seems very promising. It's like everybody's going to get a chance to get their hands on the full version when that comes out next week. On the PS3, we've got Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 Remix. So it's like all of you guys that have been thinking, Square really hasn't made any decent games in the last few years. Well, this was one of the last decent ones they made, and it's coming out again in HD. For you PS2 guys, the most important thing here is they smartened up, and just like Kingdom Hearts 2, they put the camera control on the right analog stick instead of putting it on the shoulder buttons, which was a stupid thing to do. It's quite playable now, so it's like go out and get it. The movement of the camera to the right analog stick alone is enough to justify upgrading from your old PS2 version, and of course trophies and all that other good stuff. So it's like, if you're a Kingdom Hearts fan, pick it up. It's $50, it's worth it. Puppeteer is going to be coming out, which is a unique platformer game that takes place entirely on a stage with you controlling a marionette character who gets different powers based on the puppet heads that he puts on himself over the course of the game. It's quirky, it's original, it's made by the Sony Japan studios, so it's like hopefully it'll make some waves and get noticed because it's like originality should always be rewarded. For the PC guys, Elder Scrolls Anthology. It's like I really don't have to say anything else. It's like all the Elder Scrolls games, but only for the PC. So it's like you console guys, if you're unwilling to move over to the PC to see what all of the shouting is about, you're just going to have to suffer. But for the PC guys, this is your chance to spend not 100, not 200, but potentially 500 hours of your life just playing all the Elder Scrolls games. And if you've got that much time to kill, more power to you. And this is a particularly big one for Canada. NHL 14 is out. So yes, it's NHL, it's hockey, it's Canada. Everybody and their mom is going to go out and buy this. It's going to be out on every platform conceivable. It's like I don't even know I'm mentioning this because you guys probably all already know that it's out there. Last but not least, for you guys that are looking for something a little bit different, Amnesia, A Machine for Pigs, is going to be coming out. If you played the first Amnesia, you know that that is a really atmospheric and creepy game. A Machine for Pigs is probably not going to be much different. So it's like for you guys who are willing to like distress yourselves and creep yourselves out, here's another opportunity for you guys to do so. Okay, and contest time. Are you a fan of Japanese RPGs? You are? Okay, that's great, because we got the contest for you. We've got a copy of Tales of Xillia, the latest in the Tales series from Namco Bandai. And if you would like a copy, then all you have to do is go to facebook.com/comicsgamingmagazine, and you can like a photo of me holding said copy, which is right over here. So just go and like that, and afterwards we will pick out, it's like somebody from this, and you will get a copy. This contest is only open until September 10th, so it's like you've only got a few days. So it's like, get onto Facebook, get to liking or thumbs upping or whatever it is that you guys do on your crazy social media thing. It's like, oh, you wacky kids, and get yourself a free game. That's it for this week. I'm Wayne Santos, editor over at CGM, and we will see you with next week's Weekly Goods unless something catastrophic happens and I got fired because of how disastrous this one turned out. See you.